All right, it's time for part two. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Baseball Talk for July 14th. Quick shout out to my wonderful grandma, Bonnie. She turned 74 today. I just had a nice hour and a half long conversation with her. It is nice to catch up with my grandma because I don't see her nearly as much as I probably should. I realize that I'm a very blessed person that to be in my mid-30s and have both of my grandparents, both my grandmothers, still alive. I even have one of my grandpas still alive. So I know that seems to be a rarity for adults, especially adults at the advanced age of me. So I understand that in that one aspect of my life, I'm very blessed, and it's always refreshing to talk to my grandma on the phone. She seems to have a better seems to be much better at hearing what I'm saying when I talk to her on the phone rather than in person. But let's get to it. I hopefully don't have to do 3 parts to this video, but I may because I just don't know when to shut up. And I love to hear myself talk because I may honestly be a bit of a narcissist. Don't hate me for it. But let's get into my top 10 disappointments in fantasy baseball among the hitters. No particular order again, as the hitters, as my top 10 surprises were also not in any particular order. Anthony Santander of the Orioles. I really thought that he, after his breakout last year, that he was going to be a value pick in the outfield position this year, and that has not been the case so far. I currently do not own any shares of Anthony Santander anymore. I've officially moved on from him. Also, DJ LeMahieu hasn't had a terrible season, and he still provides a lot of positional versatility, and he's actually been a lot more productive lately than he was early on. But the fact of the matter remains that I had really high hopes, really high, I'm not going to say expectations, but really high projection for DJ LeMahieu this year. I thought he was far and away the number one second baseman in fantasy baseball. That has not been the case. We'll see where he lands at the end of the year, but it's unlikely that he's going to be far and away the number one second baseman. Also, George Springer. I had no idea the severity of George Springer's injury when he got hurt in spring training. I thought it was minor. I still drafted George Springer in the 5th, 6th round where he was, going all off season, and I had no worries about George Springer, but that injury lingered for months. He just finally came back recently. So I don't want to use injury as a factor in my ratings here for disappointments because it's often out of their control. But in George Springer's case, I am going to use it because of the severity that was not really discussed or talked about pre-draft. The severity of the injury, we really had no idea, and so because of that factor, I'm putting him on this list. Matt Chapman, third baseman for Oakland. I understand he struggled last year. He had an injury, he had surgery from that injury. Some struggle should have been anticipated. It was built into his draft price. But the fact of the matter is that he hasn't really come out of his funk, and he is a pending free agent. He's really costing himself a lot of potential money. So hopefully, for his sake, for his fantasy owner's sake, just for the sake of baseball, because he really is one of the probably, if not one of, he is the best outside of Nolan Arenado, well-rounded two-way third baseman. Christian Yelich. What can I say about Christian Yelich? He's been awful, really. I had really high anticipations of him. I had him as a first-round talent. I took him in the first round in my paid league over some quality pitchers that I probably, in hindsight, definitely should have drafted instead of Christian Yelich. I just really thought Yelich was going to bounce back. He was basically the National League MVP back-to-back years. And last year he was just hurt. So I was like, it was a fluky year, it was a short year, COVID year. Throw it out the window. I thought he was going to come back to being one of the top 5 hitters in baseball again this year. excuse me, that is not the case. Even if he has a really strong second half, he's not going to finish as a top 5 hitter. So he's been a tremendous disappointment. Kayvon Biggio was a guy that I had huge projection for. I was buying all the Kayvon Biggio stock I could get in the draft process, but he's been a tough guy to hold on to. I've held on to him because of basically for the simple fact that I can put him in the outfield and not have to worry about adding another hitter to fill that spot when I had Kayvon Biggio on my team. But his production has not been worthy of holding on to this season, and it's been very unfortunate because I think I really thought this was going to be his breakout year. Alec Bohm, the young third baseman for the Phillies, really looked good in his brief rookie year last year. He was a very high draft pick a few years ago. So all the talent is there for Alec Bohm, and I'll give him credit. He's looked like the guy that we drafted here over the last couple of weeks. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know why I keep saying that phrase, but his season so far to this point has not lived up to the anticipations. Keston Hiura, I didn't have the greatest hopes for Keston Hiura. Anyways, I didn't draft him in any league. I did pick him up on waivers after his first little bit of struggle early on in the year, but he got completely devoted to the minor leagues for a long time. His career started out so promising, and it's just really gone in the last couple of years. And I don't know if he's going to be able to rehab, going to be able to come back from this. He may never be a viable fantasy player again. He may be a career backup in the infield for some teams, but he's still young enough, still has promise, still has power. He could turn it around, but it's not likely to be this season. Jared Kelenic. Oh man, there has to be a Mariner on this list, right? Jared Kelenic was supposed to be the next big thing. We traded Robinson Cano for him, which turned out was actually not terrible. I was pissed at the time, but Cano is really kind of gonna guess now you're on too. But the bigger problem was we gave up Edwin Diaz in that deal. Just when he was finally coming into himself, he was becoming the most dominant reliever in baseball, and we traded him for this minor league player who may not pan out. He was supposed to be the next big thing. He's really struggled, and now he's back in the minors. Remains to be seen if we'll see him come back. Most likely we'll see him come back probably next month. But I think that the luster on his star is definitely worn off a bit. And lastly, Anthony Rendon of the Angels. The Angels spent a lot of money on him. He's been a very, very productive hitter for the entirety of his career, even last year. I don't know what's going on with him this year. He's currently injured. Maybe he's been dealing with an injury all season. So maybe this injured list stint will give him the time he needs to heal. And he will come out in the second half, be the Anthony Rendon of old, and will make me look silly for putting him in this video. But the Angels got a lot of talented hitters. They have no pitching, which is exactly why their GM in the draft just used all 20 picks on pitchers, because that guy, brand new GM, first year GM, he identified the Angels' problem and he fixed it. It's been the Angels' problem for years and years and years and years. And all the two previous GMs, Jerry Poto being one of them, couldn't fix the problem. This guy said, I'm drafting all pitchers. And we laugh at him for it, but really, he's sending a message there. He's sending the message that I understand what the problem with my team is and what the problem with my team has been for years, and I'm doing everything I can to fix it. So I commend him for that. I'm not laughing at it. I mean, I'm laughing at the situation, but I'm not laughing at him. I think that was a brilliant move on his part. And, even if 5 of those 20 pan out, or 4 of those 20 pan out, you're still, that's almost your entire starting rotation right there. So, that's probably the best way to do it, honestly. Good pitching doesn't hit the free agent market very often, 1. And 2, the Angels have proven over the last 20 years that they can identify good hitters, and they can sign good hitters to come and play for them that they can't find pitching on the free agent wire. So this guy is doing his rebuild the right way. He's going to draft as many pitchers as he can, and he's going to go out and identify good hitters on the free agent market or through trades. So good for him. That's probably the right way to do it. And it looks like I probably will have to do a part 3 of videos here. Maybe I should just do 4. I think I should just do 4. Kind of keep all 4 of them kind of, not necessarily short because they're all over 10 minutes, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna break it up into 4 parts. For those of you who actually watch and actually follow, you probably won't care. You may find these videos entertaining, and you hopefully will watch all 40 plus minutes of them. But if I'm going to do 4 parts, I'm probably going to have to break it up and do some later, because I do plan on watching the NBA Finals Game 4, and that starts in, I think, half an hour. And now that I can drive, I don't have to catch the bus an hour and a half, 2 hours early to get somewhere that I want to go watch it. I can just hop in my car and drive 10 minutes away, or 5 minutes, or 15 minutes, however far I decide I want to go to watch the game, which will probably be Buffalo Wild Wings across the bridge, because I'm familiar with that place. And I know they have seating, because last time I tried to go to my favorite bar here in Vancouver, they were absolutely packed, and ended up having to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Anyway, so and I tried a new menu item last time I was there, which was for Game 2. The grilled chicken buffalito, I think it was, with the Chipotle dry rub. It was fantastic, and I'm kind of craving it again. I kind of want it, so that's why I'm definitely going to go back to Buffalo Wild Wings. But that's the video. That's my top 10 disappointments among hitters in the first half of the fantasy baseball season. Part 3 and part 4 will be the pitchers. Please tune in for those. Please give me some likes, give me some subscriptions, give me some shares. Make me just not necessarily famous, but just a little bit, a little bit famous, just a little tiny bit famous. I need the positive affirmation. It's my love language. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Go Bucks. I'm hoping for the Bucks to win today. I have no hate for the Suns, really. I just hate their owner. I don't think their owner deserves a championship, and I think that it's just the fact that they made it to the finals and are successful right now means he could go sell the team tomorrow for 10 times what he paid, which is exactly what he should do, because he's a terrible owner. But I don't think he should be able to profit so much from this success. But he will. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Rich people get richer, whatever. That's the way the world works. But I don't hate the Suns. I won't be mad if the Suns win the championship. It'd be great for Chris Paul, great for Devin Booker, great for the city of Phoenix. But I'm a little bit more partial to the Bucks, a little bit more partial to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I want to see the Bucks ultimately win, but I got no hate for either team. But good luck to you in your daily lives. Good luck to you in your fantasy lineups in the second half. Peace, love, and nacho fries.